Hey you guys, this is Victoria. This is my brother Ronald, and today we're gonna make a re- a video responding to Dormtainment's cop stories video and telling our own personal cop stories. And I'll set the link down below of their video so you can understand where we're coming from and the reason why we're doing this in response to the whole Mike Brown situation. So I'll go first.
And I'll go second, obviously.
Yes. Even though he was in the first story that I'm going to say, but I wasn't in his story. But it was both crazy. So I'll start. And sorry we don't have the effects that Dormtainment had, because they're better at it than I'm just a brand new person on it. So for my story, it was, I believe, in 2013.
It doesn't matter. It's Florida. It's always hot.
It was in 2013, and I believe it was spring break. I remember I was in my senior year of high school, and yeah, I know I'm young. So, and then I wasn't doing anything that spring break all week, and because I never went out because I have strict parents. So
Haitian.
Haitian, yes. So pretty much it came to the point where I was like, hey mom, I haven't been doing anything all spring break. Why don't we like go to the beach? Because I haven't been to the beach in a long time, in a minute. So she was like, okay. So then, I got my brothers involved because both of my brothers were living with us at the same time. So we just said, okay, we're all going to go to the beach this day. I don't remember what day it was. But, we go to McDonald's, have McDonald's. Then we're going, I believe it was Delray, to the Delray beach. And
Just like every loving family would.
right. So we get to, we pass the beach, but obviously we can't find parking space.
Just like every other loving family wouldn't.
I mean, we found parking space, but the thing was, it's just like you had to pay for them. And then, black and Haitian, we're cheap. We don't want to pay for no parking space. Like, it's probably going to be like $10-$20 an hour.
Just like every Haitian family wouldn't want to pay.
So, I'm just like, we got to find places. And, the places that were close by that were free, they were like, oh, you can't park here unless you was like a customer at the store or something. So, pretty much we're just trying to find a free parking space as close as possible. So we go into this one. I think it was free. I don't remember. But we go into this one parking lot, and we're literally driving. Like, my mom was in the front with my other older brother in the front, and then me and Ronald were in the back seat. And then we're literally driving around the parking lot like slow, trying to find a parking space like normal. So then we couldn't find one, so we was like, okay, let's just keep going down the road trying to see if we could find anything else. So as we go down the road, a cop car, I think, was it undercover? I think it was an undercover one. It was a red.
I don't remember.
I think
it was.
I think it was an undercover one. I think it was a red undercover cop car. I could be wrong, but I believe it was a red undercover cop car. They pulled us over, and so I'm just like,
now we get the normal questions. What are you doing?
no, wait, you're going too fast. So they pull us over. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, do we have a flat tire? Is our tail light broken? Like, okay, what's up?
And me, I'm just like, clink, clink. Go ahead, I know the process.
So he obviously goes on the passenger side when we pull over, and then my older brother Vic, he rolls down the window, and the cop asks, what did he ask? I don't.
Well, he asked my brother for his license. He asked my mom for his license.
When he first opened the window, or like when he first started talking, he was like, what, license and registration?
I don't know. I don't speak cop.
So I think he asked license and registration to my mom, and then my mom obviously, she pulled out the license registration, but she was just like, why am I being pulled over? What's this all about? He wasn't saying anything.
Well, actually, my mom did it in a smart, unthreatening way. She was like, yeah, here you go. I know I wasn't speeding. And the cop's just like, yeah, so, I know my taillight's not out. So, why are you pulling me over?
And he wouldn't say. So she was like, So he was just like, just give me a moment. So he goes in the back, to his car, and then we're just sitting there like, okay, what's going on? And then I think he comes back, but then he says, well, I don't know. I don't think he said anything at first. So then he was just asking for my other brother's license in the front, and then he was like looking in the back seat where me and Ronald was, and then he was like, "What's in my bag?" And it was my beach bag. I had my towels, my flip flops, and stuff, and the house keys in there and stuff. So, and then I think he was about to ask for me and my brother's ID. Mind you, I come to the beach, but I wasn't driving, so I didn't bring my like ID or anything because I'm like, I don't need my ID at the beach.
And he knew not to come here.
So, and I think he was gonna ask them for my brother's ID, but then I think he went back, and then did he call for backup? I don't remember if he called for backup.
I don't think he got for backup.
Was the girl in the car? The girl cop? Because there was a girl cop.
I don't know.
I think there was a girl cop, but I don't know if he called backup or whatever. But I do know there was another cop that came, and then he went in the back to do, I guess, a background check or something like that. So then she came and stood by the car, and then she was like, "Can you roll down the back window, please?" And then, mind you, they're white. So she was like,
We're black.
We're black. She was like, "Can you roll down the back window, please?" So then my brother rolls down the window, and we're just sitting there. We're just like, what's going on? And then my mom's just like starting to get upset. She's like, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know why they're making us wait and do all this like we're some criminals. And then finally, I guess it feels like after 10-15 minutes, that's when the cop comes back, and then he just gives her back the license and registration. He's just like, yeah, we've been having a lot of car break-ins lately, and then I saw your car, driving slowly around the parking lot, so I felt like it was so suspicious. And then like they eventually let us go, but it was just like, really? It's like a group of us in there. It's like 2 girls, 2 guys. So just because we're driving slow around the parking lot, it's suspicious when it's by the beach. So it's like, obviously, and there's people walking on the sidewalk, going to the beach. So you wouldn't think that a typical, especially if it's spring break, people trying to go to the beach, trying to find a parking space. So, it felt very suspicious. Obviously, I pulled the race card. I'm like, it's because we're black. So that's my story. It's not that big of a thing, but it is more crazier. But so I just want to get my short story in there, my 2 cents. So that's my cop story.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and paint the picture. Now, I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. One brother you heard about in the other story. My other brother is older than both of us. He's the oldest brother. Now, he was in college at FSU. He came down to visit. So we decided, we have a big family. Mom, dad, sister, 3 brothers. So we decided to take 2 separate cars, and we decided to go to Burger King, to have a nice family meal. Yes, Burger King is a family meal. So
we're cheap.
What ends up happening is we're driving. It's me, my brother, my 2 brothers in 1 car, my sister, my mom, and my dad in another car. So I'm
the girl, so they,
So they apparently make it to Burger King or whatever. We're driving.
Apparently make it to Burger King.
We're driving, and then we passed by like a whole bunch of cops in front of this outlet mall. We're just like, okay.
It's a bootleg outlet mall too.
We're just like, okay, weird. So we keep on driving, and then when we pass by the cops look at us. We're not doing anything wrong.
Don't forget to give the description of the car.
It doesn't matter. It's a red car.
Yeah, but we already know what they say about red cars.
Anyways, that's more for speeding. But anyways, we pass by the cop.
Because what they say about red cars, if you guys don't know, which I'm sure you do, is it's always suspicious with red cars. Like a red car is like the top car that I guess cops pull over, or the top car that I don't know. Red cars are always associated with cops, so red cars is not a good car to get.
That's car racism. So anyways,
car racism, exactly.
So anyway, we passed by, the cops look at us, we didn't think much of it. We're not doing anything, so it doesn't matter. It's not like we felt guilty or anything. So now we're driving, and then all of a sudden, cops behind us pull us over into a plaza. Now, if you've seen Dormtainment cop stories, you'll see that the cops always ask them, what are you doing? All this stuff. We didn't even get those questions. We got pulled over, pulled into the plaza. Cops like, Put your heads out the windows. We're like, okay. Throw the keys out the car.
This was a long time ago, mind you. So like,
I'm a
how?
freshman in high school at this point.
And he's old now, so.
Something like that. So, anyways, he's like, throw the keys out the window. Get out the car. So my brother gets out the car. He's like, lift your shirt off. Lift his shirts up. Put up your hands. Walk backwards. He walks backwards. They cuff him. Next person, get out the car. Me and my other brother look at each other. So then we step out the car, one at a time. We're like, oh, okay. So I get back in the car. Lift up your shirt. Same thing, same process. Put your hands up. Walk backwards. Cuff my brother. Same thing for me. Same thing. Walk backwards. Cuff me. So now we're all three sitting down by the cop car, just chilling. And we're just like, okay, weird. And then what ends up happening is, another cop car. There's a few cop cars at this point. Another cop car comes. This lady steps out, talks to the cops, and we're just still sitting down by the cop cars, just like, okay, this is ridiculous. I'm an American citizen. Even though we're Haitian, I'm an American citizen. So what ends up happening is the cop goes, I know you're wondering what the hell's going on. This lady got robbed by 3 black people, and you guys were 3 black people riding in the car, so you guys look suspicious. But she came and identified it wasn't you guys. You guys are good to go now. Went on our way to Burger King, and that was the end of it.
Yep, and I was shocked. My parents were shocked when they told them, because we was sitting at Burger King, we was wondering, like, okay, where's Ronald, Vic, West? And then when they finally came and told the story, it was like crazy. And I'm just like, really? Yeah. So, was they white?
Of course the cops were white.
They were white. Not saying all white people are bad, because they're not, but it's just, especially what's going on right now, and another incident happened in New York with the guy and the 6 kids, and the cop choking him, and
if you haven't seen Fruitvale Station, see that movie. It's a good movie.
I haven't seen it, but I heard it was good. Not only from him, but I heard it was a good movie overall.
True story, and they have the actual video too.
So it's just like, just all these things that happening, and just makes you wonder. I was watching the Wendy Williams show today, and she was explaining how she said it's not more of.
I'm about to tap out the conversation.
Hold on. She was saying, and yeah, I know, like I already told you from my previous videos, I'm not, when it comes to her productions of like stuff, like I said with the Leah movie and the award shows, whatever, but I do still, no matter what, still watch her talk show faithfully, because I think she's funny sometimes, and I sometimes do agree with her opinions. But she was explaining today, based on the situation in the new case with the whole New York incident, was pretty much, she was like, she don't think it's just the race thing, but just a cop thing. Like, not all cops are bad, but it's just like some of them are just outrageous. And I paused for a second. I'm like, no, I think it's a race thing. So it's not, and plus it's because it's a cop, so I think they have more authority. They think they're better, but I just think obviously racism is still out there. I guess it's just like more than people thought it was. They didn't think it was like that, but it's just like, I think all along it's been happening, all these cop stuff, but it's just now it's becoming more noticeable, or more like, oh, we're becoming more aware of it than how it used to be. I mean, it used to be just under the rug, but I guess with all the social media now, it's like we're really starting to become aware, like, it's been happening, it's continuing, and it gotta stop. I haven't been in any protests because I'm too busy working or going to school, but if there was one, I probably wouldn't go still, not because I don't support them, but it's
dangerous out there.
It's dangerous out there, because I'm glad we don't live in Ferguson, I'll tell you that right now, because Ferguson is going through some things, clearly. So that was our cop stories, and do you have anything else to say?
Upload your cop stories.
Upload your cop stories, tag Dormtainment, you could tag me, I guess, just to make us more aware of it. That's why the whole Dormtainment started the whole thing, so we're just putting our 2 cents in, and everybody has their own cop stories. Not only black people, but I'm sure other people also have their own cop stories. So upload yours, share your stories, just to make everybody aware of what's going on with our society. Do you have anything else to say?
Nope.
And I think that's all, because this is already at 15 minutes. So, yeah. And you guys have a good night.